Hello, Mariusz, how are you?
The delay, it was just like I had an interview before and someone really didn't want to finish that and I had to just yeah, I just skipped the button just to skip without even saying hi. I said hi and just left. So yeah, thank you.
How
Oh
is
my
it?
God.
How is everything with you?
Thank you. I'm better and better.
Yeah. Well, at least the world under Unsun, it's quite good. So it's a good start.
Really, thank you. Yeah, it's I just noticed that I think the best albums I do when I feel like shit. And it's weird, but maybe that's the kind of a curse, burden, or maybe the advantage for some artists that they do the best things when they suffer the most. But okay, it's fine. Now it's better.
It took you like 4 years to finish this project. I mean, these records. It was a long time to kind of finish an album. I mean, it's a special record. At the end of the day, it's a double record, 90 minutes of music. But I saw that you started in 2021 and just finished early in the year or something.
Let's be honest. That was not, you know, all the time in the studio because
Yeah.
in between I did with the guys Riverside Identity.
Yeah.
And in between, I also did the live album. And in between, I also played over, or maybe almost 100 shows. So it was just like with this small detail, yeah, it's been like 4 years. But I, the thing is that I started two things just before. I mean, there is a song that didn't fit to Fractured in 2017 and it was waiting for me. And this song was called The Prophecy and the second single. So it was just imagine composed during the Fractured session, but Fractured was very electronic and this song was too alternative rock, whatever. So I didn't want to use that. It was waiting. So in this thinking about that, I should say that I started this album in 2017, but not in 2020, 2021, when I did the electronic pandemic trilogy, lockdown trilogy. I came up with this idea with electronic pattern, and it was too good for the album that I did that time. And I said that should be the beginning of the new Lunatic Soul album. So I count this moment as the beginning of the new Lunatic Soul.
Hmm.
So, and the song "The World Under Unsun" started. So practically, yeah, I did this in an electronic way mostly because the Fractured was electronic,
Hmm.
and if you take a look at the timeline of the albums, uh, that's the album that should be next after Fractured. So the World Under Unsun is after Fractured and before Walking on the Flashlight Beam. That is why it started as Fractured and ends as Walking on the Flashlight Beam. But anyway, yes, answering your question, 2021 was the beginning of thinking about this album, but with this small detail that I in between did Riverside Identity.
And you had the concept already in mind for these records, or it was something that developed as you were doing the songwriting?
I knew that I want to make a final. I mean, I want to make a good final. It should be like the Return of the King kind of final. So I knew already that maybe it will be the longest album in my career, but also I knew it will be about the end of something because this is the end of the entire cycle. But what kind of the end? I didn't know that yet. But over the years, I just realized that it would be great to create the album about, let's say, leaving the toxic reality, leaving the place when you are trapped in. And I really wanted to do that kind of stuff. So probably last year, I just realized that I want to write the lyrics about leaving the place when you don't want to be in. And that became the main subject of this new Lunatic Soul, because the whole story is about the main character who dies, revives, and he's in sort of a loop. And he's tired of that. He's tired of being in the loop all the time. So he wants to leave this place.
Just like life in general. Sometimes you get in the loop, you
And
can't get out of
it's just
it.
like, it's just the fact that I really wanted to write the album about, just imagine that you are in the, just a second. Just imagine that you are doing the album that can help someone else to make a decision, for instance. I made this album to help myself as well, because I was kind of struggling with different kind of mental issues, let's say. And I really wanted to, and my son looked like the one from the cover. So I really wanted to leave this place, but I didn't know how. Yeah. So that is why I started to write about the whole process of leaving this place. And yes, I believe that lots of people feel the same way, maybe in their lives. They'll live for many, many years in a place that they want to abandon, but they cannot do this, because of something, because of someone. So, yeah, I think the final idea for the lyrics just came to my mind last year.
Yeah.
And then I started to write the whole concept.
Yeah. I think sometimes, from my experience, it's more the fear of change than actually, when you get in the loop, you get like in the work cycle where, you just get tired of your job. You really want to leave, but it's financial security. And you need a change, but you have to look at, okay, but what if I cannot get a job as good or that pays as well as this one? Am I able to, go into that when I was 18, looking for the first job, do jobs for 3 months and then look again? Sometimes it's not. I'm in this job for 25 years and there's not a single day that goes by that I don't think maybe it's time to leave and do something else. And then I keep just doing the same thing,
So what you do, you're listening to the entire The World Under Unsun album, you're making the notes from the lyrics, and then you play the Riverside Discard Your Fear song, and come on, you've got the plan, It's just, that you cannot afraid of the unknown, because this is really important. Some people cannot be. That's the thing, that is the thing, that if you are in a place that you are maybe... It's just like Stockholm syndrome, Sometimes you feel like, okay, it's not so bad as I thought it would be, It's just like, yeah, maybe they're just hurting me from time to time, but it's fine. It's just, there's no blood yet. That's fine. I can live in this place. So, but this is wrong, That is why I believe that I felt that at the age of 50 that I have now, it's time to finally think more about yourself than the others. Yeah. And that's the question. If you can allow yourself to think more about your needs than the others' needs. Of course, there's always should be a balance. Yeah. If you feel that someone is hurting you, or and there is the violence in there, or just the abuse, or mental problems, mental issues, or just you feel traumatized, or you feel not happy at all, that's the moment when you should do something with that. You cannot just say, okay, that's fine. No, it's time to think about yourself. Yeah, this is how I do it.
Yeah, and I'm in the same situation. I'm going to be 50 in December, and I keep thinking, I need, and for me, it's like trying to think about myself without sounding or being selfish with, the rest of the family. How do you balance that? It's a very complicated it's a very complicated thing to balance, to be honest. Like, I want to think about myself, I want to do my things, but I'm not alone. You know, there's other people with me. So
But if you do something for many years, so probably you are with the people around you who knows you from this part of your life, right? So you didn't start that.
yeah,
You continue this, and that's the part of your identity, and everyone around you have to accept that. And this is important. I hope that you accept that as
yeah,
well, because I know lots of people that they don't accept themselves. You know,
yeah,
they just still looking at the others, or they are following the orders,
yeah,
or that's wrong. But yeah, I believe if you have this, you know, if you settle down in this, that you, so what you do, you have to have the opportunity to continue your
yeah,
life. If there are some obstacles, that's okay, you can talk about it, but if there is the big stop sign in front of you and you want to continue, then there's the moment when you have to make a decision if you want to stop or move on.
yeah,
There's nothing like being in two places at the same time. This is just like with eating, you know, cake. You cannot have the cake and eat the cake at the same time. So that's the moment. And in my life, I always try to use what I feel and do what I feel in this moment. But first and foremost, my music, doing this, it's a form of auto therapy. So this
yeah,
is really important for me,
yeah,
and I need to have space and the time to do it because it heals me, and I cannot do things that cannot allow me to be a part of this auto therapy. If there is something like I cannot do things that I love, then I say, sorry, but that's the part. Let's find a compromise. And a compromise should look like I have to do what I do. I can just leave some things maybe for later, or maybe do a step back. But that's the most, the thing that I need the most, that helps me to keep the mental balance,
yeah,
needs to be going on. And that's my thing. If someone will tell me, no, you cannot do this, then I say, so we need to split our ways. Unfortunately, I'm sorry.
yeah,
So that's the thing, you know.
yeah.
There's the moment in your life when you have to think about yourself the most. Sorry.
Yeah. And now with the album ready to come out, you feel more relieved, you feel more light in your head and in your life.
It didn't come out yet. It didn't come out yet. If it comes out, then I will maybe say something. However, I know that always, and it's like a tradition and ritual, and I don't know what to do with this. At the day of the album release, I'm in my bed or even under my bed, and I turn off everything. It's just like, let's get it done. Weird. I remember my friend just told me, I have a great idea. Let's make a big party at the day of your album release. We'll invite many guests. And I said, no, no way. It's just, if the album will be out and people will listen to that, and some of them will enjoy this, there will be this invisible connection between me and them. I will feel that, okay, now it's that the process is completed, and I feel that my balance will start to be on the good position. And like in the video game, there's this bar with a health bar, or the, I don't know, mana bar. Probably they will fill, you know,
Yeah.
and with the direction in up. So yeah. But I'm still waiting for this moment yet. It's how this is very important for many musicians. Just I cannot imagine how many of them, they're just doing the music and just hiding there in their I don't know, the baskets and the places, you know.
Yeah.
Just doing the music for fun, just for yourself, that no one listens, no one hears. It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's really important when you have to show the music and the interaction between the artist and the listeners. That's what makes the whole musical story complete,
Yeah.
right? So, but before that happens, yeah, it's lots of racing thoughts in my head.
Yeah.
So
But I don't think you have to worry about. I think this record is it's a really great record. You know, it's 90 minutes, but doesn't feel like 90 minutes. And you know, I was reading the press release, and you know, there was a mention of Peter Gabriel's Passion. You know, that was part of the soundtrack for Martin Scorsese's Passion of the Christ. I feel like this is like a freaking great soundtrack for some movie. You know, it sounds, you know, it's that it has that world music kind of a vibe. You know, I don't know. It was a really nice surprise. It's not something that I would listen every day, but it was something that I didn't stop listening.
with this amount of depression in the lyrics, I can imagine that it will be hard. You know, the thing with Lunatic Soul is the fact that I really wanted to create a project which is, let's call it genreless, if you know what I mean. Because let's say Riverside is just like the progressive rock / metal kind of band. Thank you, bye-bye. Everything is just like that. You know, we're playing live shows, blah, blah, blah. But with Lunatic Soul, I wanted to create the project for the artist that helps him to create everything, you know, no limits. But the limits, of course, are, but this is everything that I love in music, like from the movie music, the cinematographic kind of music, electronic music, folk music, oriental world kind of music, progressive rock, metal, ambient stuff, everything in one piece.
Yeah.
And I thought that if I create something like that, it will be awesome for everyone. And then I just realized that it's not, because people behave the same like these days algorithms. You need to be specific. Otherwise, they don't know what to do with you, you know? It's just like if you just release the album in the social media right now, I mean, like in the streaming services, and you just pitch the song, you need to define what is that exactly.
Yeah.
So what can I do? I cannot write Lunatic Soul, progressive rock, progressive metal, electronic music, folk music. It's not possible to feel everything.
Yeah.
And it's I just realized that it's crazy that I thought that I create something with tons of advantages, but at the same time it's a ton of flaws because people don't know what to do with this, which it kind of makes me sad. But at the same time, I decided to be some sort of the rebel. Like, okay, so I just create the music for these people who don't care about the system, you know. It's more like this, maybe, I don't know, left wing kind of side, you know, sort of the revolution, and just create the album for people who wants to listen to the albums, not for the Spotify playlists. That's why the amount of minutes, because they. And the second thing, it's just like, yeah, let's create the project that has lots of elements. These days, I think it's kind of easier. But I knew that may be a problem for someone. But hey, as I said before, it's my kind of auto therapy. So this issue is more important for me. And I do hope that thanks to that, some people can also, you know, feel that they are not alone. And maybe they can find something with my music as well.
Yeah. You know, and I think, you know, honestly, when it comes to music, I don't think label genre it's that important, to be honest. If the music is good. Like last night I was at the Ivor concert, and she had like a guy from Iceland, Asgeir, I think that's his name, playing, which was like just a guy on stage with a guitar and keyboards and a, you know, sampler, whatever. And the whole night it was just so different from metal, even though there was plenty of metalheads there. But the music, because it's so good, it connects with people. And I think for me in music, I don't care what genre it is anymore. If it connects with me, that's all I care about. I don't care. I don't give a rat's ass about labels anymore. And I mean labels, I mean if it's progressive rock or if it's metalcore, I don't care about any of that. And for me, it's a detrimental if you put a band in a box with a label. I probably won't listen to them if it has a label. I prefer to listen to the music and get my own conclusions. Does it touch me? Does it mean anything to me? If it does, I'll keep listening. If it doesn't, I'll just move on to the next thing. And I think that's the beauty of music at the end. It doesn't need to have a label. I don't give a rat's behind again for Spotify or Apple Music if you need to have a label. You know, I know what I want to listen in a way. And if I can discover new artists, it's good. But, you know, don't force a label on things anymore. I mean, it's 2025, you know.
Well, that's beautiful what you just said. And I believe that there's plenty of journalists that they just think the same way. Also, there is some kind of amount of listeners who thinks the same way. I'm pretty sure that younger generation, it's much more open than the older generation, because if you're just 40, 50 plus, you still listen to the genres, unfortunately, with some exceptions. More like you, mostly you listen to Judas Priest, Iron Maiden. From time to time, I will visit and see Ivor on the show. But if you take a look at Z generation, if you have kids, you know, they just listen to everything, you know, everything. So I also noticed that for the Z generation, it's just like, they don't listen to the albums anymore. They listen to playlists, but they don't listen to specific kind of genre, and they listen to everything. And this is really great, mostly because music is not as important as it used to be, as it's only just a small part of your brain activity, because you have video games, you have Netflix, you have got plenty other stuff. Yeah. And but I believe that in terms of promotion, unfortunately, all these open, wide-minded things, they don't work, because there you need to be specific, and you have better chance. If you are specific with your genre, you've got better chances to play on the festivals. You've got better chance to be on the specific playlists on Spotify, and this and that and that. So these days, unfortunately, it's better to be in one specific bubble. Yeah. And, you know, so that is why lots of new bands playing progressive rock, they all sound the same. The guitar player has 7-string guitar. They have the keyboards that they just sound funny sometimes. You know, those sounds are more from like video games. It's not like cherishing analog vintage sounds anymore. It's like something funny, weird, futuristic. And we don't use cabinets. We're just using the plugins in the computer, and laptop is totally enough. And thanks to that, that's the technology development. I don't want to say that this is something bad, but all these new generation kind of band, they just sound similar to each other, you know. It just post Meshuggah kind of djent riffs together with melodic lines, and it just sounds exactly the same. And you've got another band that maybe sometimes there are just like exceptions, that this guy sings so high that it's different than the others, okay, or screams so loud, or I don't know. But yeah, and this is something that terrifies me, and I don't want to be in this world. But I also understand why it's happening, right? These days, you need to think of buying the guitar and the MacBook or the computer with some plugins, and then you can do the thing by yourself at home. You don't need to be in a band anymore. But yeah, in general, I believe that still, in terms of promotion, the more specific you are, the biggest chance you have. And it doesn't work like if you are the more open-minded, that will help you. And this is sad.
Yeah, yeah, and you were mentioning the evolution of technology. I do, and it's kind of impossible. Like for a prog band, or like a band like Deep Purple, they still use the Hammond organs with the Leslie speakers. It's impractical these days for a small band to afford something like that and bring to the stage. And it's easier to use emulations and whatever
Well,
plugins to simulate that than bring the proper hardware.
no. I just don't want to say that what was before was
Yeah,
better than it's now. No, the sound of plugins. This is just how much and more. It sounds like the actual gear, and
yeah,
it doesn't have to use that in the studio because this one is cheaper and faster to
yeah,
use it. So it's fine. I'm not against the technology. I just want to say that we were talking about those genreless things, and if you are listening to lots of music, that's fine. But it's really hard to find a good rock festival, if we're talking about rock music,
yeah,
that is for open-minded people. I remember once in Barcelona, Juan, the promoter, did Be Prog, My Friend.
yeah,
That was the festival. That was like Camel, Meshuggah, Steve Hackett, wide, really wide lineup, in terms of genres.
yeah,
It didn't work. It didn't work because people who loves Meshuggah, they don't listen to Steve Hackett.
yeah,
Some other who listen to Camel, they don't listen to Leprous and Haken. It doesn't work that way. If you're not the journalist, if you're not a musician. So that's the thing. That's my point.
yeah,
Sometimes it's too wide. It's not possible. So we get into Lunatic Soul. In my opinion, I did a really wide range of music on this album, and sometimes, unfortunately, it's an advantage for journalists or for listeners. But for if it comes for just promoting that,
yeah,
that's the problem,
yeah,
So who are you? Can you play on a metal festival now? No, I don't play metal. So maybe you can play on the folk, but no, but it's not folky enough.
yeah.
That's the thing.
And
For
it's
me,
not electronic for electronic
maybe
festival.
electronic. Yeah, because you've got some electronic stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's so that's the thing. It's weird. It's this. Maybe there will be the moment if you take a look at some festivals. I don't know, the most popular one these days, and I'm not talking about rock festivals, but I don't know, Coachella, whatever. So sometimes, or even in Poland, we have like open air festival. So we had rap music, but we also had like Muse or Linkin Park or So it's getting like it starts to look like those playlists of this Z generation.
yeah,
But in terms of listening to both music and festivals for 40, 50 plus, they just prefer if it's not too diverse. They just prefer more cohesive things.
yeah. I know. I have friends that are very old school, and they love Iron Maiden, and they want metal bands to be in the lineup and not some a bit hard rock or metalcore. They think that no. I want Iron Maiden. I
Metal
want
should be
something.
metal. Metal should be metal, right?
Yeah, but it's again, as I
If
said,
you take a look at Igor, for instance, right?
yeah,
There's these guys from France, they just combine lots of stuff, but it's
yeah,
still now they just released the album that sounds, it's like the metal with lots of different kind of stuff,
yeah,
but it's basically on, that's the thing,
yeah.
The metal is the biggest amount of the music, not
Yeah.
like those flutes and a very small amount of guitar with the distortion. No.
Yeah, and Igor, they are doing the tour with Imperial Triumphant, which is
Yeah,
again a different
and
sort of.
is it Metal Blades or something? I don't remember
Yeah,
what's that the company that they're just on. Well, but it's also kind of, but it's fine. It's great, So these days you should play metal. That is why I've got a few metal riffs on the new Lunatic Soul. However, no, I'm just joking. But however, it's really hard to achieve this proper distortion with the bass itself, because let's remember that Lunatic Soul is with there's no electric guitar in Lunatic Soul. that makes it, too vanilla for some metal heads, unfortunately. Sorry.
Yeah.
But it's also, let's be honest, if some metalheads wants to struggle with their depression or they're too melancholic, from time to time they can play Lunatic Soul, and I think it will be fine for them.
Yeah, I think I know for a fact some of them listen to that kind of music as a secret,
Yeah.
They don't, no, outside when they meet with the friends, they are true metalheads, but at home, at night, they are listening to something different. I know for a fact some of them do that, but yeah, I know.
I believe that the times of guilty pleasure are over now, because there's more and more people just studying out loud that, yeah, I was listening to the new Taylor Swift or listening to Sabrina Carpenter or whatever.
Yeah.
I know this, but I just want to know what's going on in pop music, right? You don't mind, right? We can go and see this, I don't know, some Carcass show or Blood and Temptation, right? No problem. I can go with you, but can I? No, not that kind of conversation anymore.
And just wrap it up. Anyway, just wrap it up. I don't want to keep you longer. When it comes to live shows, are you going to plan anything? As you mentioned, it's difficult for the music of Lunatic Soul to play in a festival or something. But would you like to play live shows with it?
I never played live shows with Lunatic Soul. Lunatic Soul from the very beginning is a studio project that I did in between Riverside shows, mostly when the others were on holidays. I spent my holidays in the studio doing Lunatic Soul. That is why I have now 8 albums with Lunatic Soul, so the same amount as Riverside has.
Yeah.
Which also makes me feel that I had to make some stop and maybe finally go on a holiday, by the way, especially at the age of 50. But maybe when I go back from this holiday, maybe I would like to do something different and new, and maybe that should be the time to finally bring Lunatic Soul and play something live. I didn't decide that yet, but I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. And when it comes to Riverside, are you guys planning new music? The last album was released 2023. The live album was...
I have a break with Riverside for now. I really wanted to take a break. I wanted to stop playing live shows. I wanted to be on the studio. I needed this time and a space. So when the time is right, we will go back. But I don't know that yet. I want to focus on Lunatic Soul and on myself. This is exactly what we talked about it. Yeah. My priorities are now here, not in Riverside.
Yeah. And if you go on a holiday, I live in Portugal, I would say come to Portugal.
So but where are you from? Lisbon, Porto?
Lisbon.
Oh, okay.
It's Lisbon. It's
I need to be careful with something. I know that you had the strategy. I'm so sorry for that. So I know. I should take car.
Yeah. But Lisbon is fine. But I was actually going to say Italy. It's a great place for a holiday. Just go to not the touristic cities.
Do they have Porto there? Do they have a proper wine there?
They have
Chianti only. I don't know. No, just kidding.
They have good wine. They have something.
I know.
They have something that they call, like, they serve at the end of each meal. It's called limoncello, which is like a...
Oh, I hate this. Oh no, that's a lot of fake stuff. But if you like limoncello,
I don't drink alcohol.
I prefer Porto.
Jägermeister
even more than limoncello.
I live like in Porto. I went to one of the caves there where they have the wine and everything. I did a mistake of going early in the morning. I had a light breakfast, so I did a tasting of several Porto wines.
Oh, no,
I got out of it there, and that was just...
My friend, when we were visiting Riverside, Portugal for the first time, I remember I was just a collector of wine, and we bought several bottles of Porto. Porto is 20-something percentage. Yeah. It's not like wine. So, headache the very next day. Oh my man.
Yeah, it was
Not,
crazy.
not again, not again. But I'm a sweet kind of guy, you know. I love sweets, and if
Yeah.
I have the wine that is sweet, it's much better than this dry whatever. You know, it's like what kind of hell is that? So yeah, I prefer sweet wines more, and Porto is can be dangerous. So no, holiday in Porto, no. Italy, this is what we start.
Yeah, I was going to tell you. I mean, if you want to come to Lisbon, you're more than welcome. There's great places around.
I would love to one day come to Lisbon because I kind of missed your vibe. I think that Portugal has a great vibe.
Yeah.
It's just like you are, you know, somewhere almost at the end of Europe, you know, you have only the ocean. You don't give a fuck about this and that. And it's just like, it's always a challenge, you know, to start the tour, you know. There's some people that are starting from Lisbon. They're just going all the way to start in Lisbon, the tour, Porto, and then finally the European tour.
Yeah.
But on the way back, it's hard, you know, to end it up in Lisbon and then what? We need to return. But I really love the vibe of Portuguese. Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah. Right, Mariusz, thank you very much for your time. All the best for Lunatic Soul. It's a great record. Don't stress too much about it. I think fans are going to love it, going to understand it. And as I said, it's a great soundtrack for whatever time you're living, whatever person is going through. It's a great soundtrack. And, you know, hopefully we'll have more music from you soon. But, you know, get well. And if you need to come to Portugal, you're welcome.
Oh, thank you very much for your kind words. And that was a good chat.
Thank you very much. Have a great day, and I hope to see you soon, all right?
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.